Hi everyone, this is Charlie Bush coming to you with another video weekly update. This is a message I just sent to the City Council and now I'm sharing it with all of you. First off this week, the Youth Services Task Force had a meeting last Friday afternoon and the big topic of discussion was the April 27th Youth Summit, which is going to be held from 6 to 8 p.m. here at the Civic Center. It's put on by youth, primarily for youth. We've got a few organizers and coaches involved, and the City Council is welcome to attend that as well. We're expecting 25 to 30 youth, and the goal is to really dial in future collaborations and youth-related projects in the community by having the youth help us really figure out what is appropriate for that. So we're targeting high school age students for this initial event, and we'll go from there. So I shared that with Council. Also, we have a regional electric vehicle charging station potential grant application. We've been collaborating with other agencies around the Olympic Peninsula to consider going after some money that would place an electric charging station every 30 to 50 miles around the peninsula. This would potentially increase tourism for electric vehicles and our beautiful natural environment we have here with Olympic National Park and the other settings around our peninsula. So we'll be going back to the City Council on April 24th and again on May 8th to meet the deadline of May 12th to apply for this grant if the Council is so inclined. And we're an active participant in the process, but we've helped to convene, but we're not the leaders of this effort. There are some other agencies stepping up to do that, which we greatly appreciate. The off Dungeness Channel Reservoir, I provided an update to Council. This is included in the House budget that was passed by the State House of Representatives, funding for at least land transfer, but was not included in the Senate budget. So right now budget negotiations are ongoing between the House and Senate, and so we're continuing to be encouraging to our legislators to consider doing what they can to help us get funding off the ground for the project that would help with a whole ton of different benefits to the community, including stormwater benefits, benefits to the irrigators, recreational benefits, benefits to salmon habitat by taking less water out of the Dungeness River, just a whole variety of things, even some flood benefits. Also let the Council know that this afternoon we heard from Governing Magazine, and that's a pretty cool thing. In fact, it's the first time in my career I've had Governing Magazine reach out to me or a city I've been involved with on a story. And they were interested in how we are working to engage and attract millennials and young people to our organization. And we've done some work with our YouTube Hall of Fame Lip Dub video. Also, we've done some work with employee engagement, and we've had some real success with some of our recent recruitments. Joe Irvin happens to be working on a presentation that he's going to be doing for the Association of Washington Cities later on in the month of May. So Joe called back Governing Magazine, and we may be in an article they're going to publish next Wednesday. So we'll keep our fingers crossed on that, but a call from Governing Magazine is a pretty cool thing. It's a little bit like getting a call from Rolling Stone might have been 20 or 30 years ago. Definitely got us a buzz there for a bit this afternoon. I toured Serenity House facilities with Detective Sergeant Sean Madison recently, last Friday. We went over to Port Angeles and looked at a variety of facilities, including their low barrier shelter, some housing for people with disabilities, their housing resource center, some transitional housing they have as well, just to get a better feel for what Serenity House provides in terms of services in our region so that we can better assist people in need in our community when we encounter them, and also to help us in our planning efforts going forward as we look at human services in other areas where we have Council priorities. PENCOM was another topic I covered with Council. PENCOM is our regional public safety dispatch service. We have an interlocal agreement with the City of Port Angeles. They provide the service to the region, and we're included with a number of fire agencies and Clallam County, the Sheriff's Department, in that effort, as well as other local police agencies. And PENCOM's looking at the possibility of becoming a separate nonprofit organization. And for that to occur, a new interlocal agreement needs to be drafted. So we met recently with a gentleman named Carl Hatton. He's the Regional Emergency Communications Director for PENCOM, and he also serves a similar role for JEFCOM, which includes Jefferson County And there's the possibility in the long run of combining Jefferson and Tuolumne County Regional Dispatch. But in the short run, we're really simply looking at taking the service from Port Angeles and making it an independent agency. And so we're going to have a City Council work session on this topic in the near future to engage this discussion with the City Council, and we let them know that, and we'll go from there. I attended the Sequim School District Strategic Planning meeting with Joe Irvin, the Assistant City Manager, and also with Councilor Genevieve Starr this week. Progress is being made on the vision and value statements for the school district, and we're excited to see all of the engaging work that's been done in the community, what that translates into in the next few meetings. There's a lot of energy around the conversations. It's really invigorating. I also attended the Walk to End Alzheimer's breakfast this week at the invitation of Fifth Avenue, and I do definitely appreciate that invitation. Learned a lot about Alzheimer's. I think a lot of us know a basic level of information about Alzheimer's, but one of the statistics that really jumped out at me was people over the age of 85 have a 50% likelihood of contracting Alzheimer's disease. So that's pretty staggering, and as our population ages, as the baby boomers get older, this is going to become a bigger and bigger issue in society. There's a Walk to End Alzheimer's breakfast on September 17th in Port Angeles this upcoming fall, and I'm also looking at ways to better collaborate with the Alzheimer's Association as a way for benefiting our community, given the age of our community is quite up there. I also attended the Sequim Dungeness Kiwanis Rechartering Banquet, and this banquet was really neat. The Kiwanis Club locally had lost its charter a few years ago, and 15 people worked very hard to bring it back to the community. The Kiwanis Club serves youth extensively, and in Sequim, that's a big deal. It's a big deal everywhere, but it's particularly a big deal in our community, given how old we are, that our youth also feel valued. So it was a great honor to be asked to speak at that event, and I represented the city there, and we're excited to get to work with the Kiwanis Club locally. Joe Irvin, Assistant City Manager, and myself, we also met with the SBDC. We provided a contract for service to the SBDC this year for serving small businesses in Sequim. We had a meeting with Kevin Holt recently, and he let us know about the services he's been providing to Sequim businesses, and we're excited to have an upcoming City Council briefing on that topic with Kevin present. Labor and Industries is opening. They're actually moving their office from Port Angeles to Sequim. They're leasing space in a building on West Washington Street near West Side Pizza. They'll occupy 3,000 square feet, and the value of the project was $103,000. So we're excited to welcome Labor and Industries to Sequim, and that'll be a benefit to our businesses for sure here. Whimsy Park. If you don't know what Whimsy Park is yet, I have a feeling you will know it very soon. Last year we had Peter Kagiyama, a nationally recognized speaker on community engagement, join us for the session you see in the photo behind me in our council chambers, and we had a workshop that we did with Peter and a variety of community leaders, and the outcomes from that have been numerous. One of them is Whimsy Park, and Whimsy Park is an effort where we're having entirely donated labor and materials that are going towards taking a vacant lot in the downtown area and making it into a park, what's known as a pop-up park in Peter Kagiyama language. And here's a picture of Whimsy Park today. It's underway. I want to thank Ken Stringer, one of our really active community volunteers, for all of his efforts to get donated material and labor, and he's doing a lot of the labor himself as well out there towards this project. The lot's owned by Bill Littlejohn, so we definitely want to thank Bill as well for use of this. And Thomas Lumber has also donated quite a bit of material for a stage that you can see on the right side of the photo, which will be used for future concerts and other things. On the 5th of May, there will be a dedication, so to speak, a grand opening of Whimsy Park from 5 to 7 p.m. in the evening, and the Malcolm Clark Trio, a local blues rock band, will be playing, and there will be recognition for a variety of partners involved in this project. This is a great way to turn a vacant, not being used dirt lot into something much more valuable to the community. So once again, thanks for everybody involved in this, and I'm excited to be a part of the grand opening of this park in the near future on the 5th of May. All right, down to kudos of the week. There was not just one kudo this week. There were many. It was a great week. And start out with Detective Devin McBride receiving recognition from the Healthy Families of Clallam County. And this is Becca Corby with Devin. She attended our council meeting on Monday night as well, and they presented Devin with a gratitude award for his efforts in helping to investigate issues of sexual violence and child abuse and neglect. And Devin does an amazing work for us. We have great equipment for him to use as well in our new police station. And Devin received some really well-recognized recognition and well-received, what am I trying to say, well-earned recognition for all of his efforts in working on these really challenging cases and often really depressing cases, frankly. So kudos to Devin. If you see him, please thank him. All right, Rick Irish. Rick Irish is our street lead in the Public Works Department, and Rick was driving a street sweeper like the one you see in the picture. And he was driving along, and he encountered a gentleman on Blake Avenue who was motoring along in a power scooter. He had driven off the sidewalk, this gentleman had, in his power scooter, and it had overturned, and it was actually on top of him. There was a woman nearby who tried to help and wasn't able to help the gentleman get out from under his scooter. Rick Irish stopped. He came along in his street sweeper, like you see him here. He stopped, he got out, he lifted the scooter off the gentleman, he helped the gentleman up. The gentleman had some cuts and scrapes, and he pulled out his first aid kit from his work vehicle and was able to apply some basic first aid as well. So if you see Rick, please thank him. I titled this one in the written update, Rick Irish, Squim Superhero. He did a great job with this. That's way over and above the Call of Duty as a city employee, but it's exactly what public service is all about. So please thank Rick for really living our values. Tremendous job there. City of Sequim Police Department also had a really great effort in responding to community requests for service out on Silberhorn last weekend. We responded to a traffic accident, and while we were out there, we had a couple of residents approach our officers and report speeders in the area both day and night. And officers responded to that by coming back later in the weekend and working traffic out there. They also arrested someone with a Department of Corrections warrant, and they obtained some narcotics information while they were at it. So great police work by the police department and listening to the community, being adaptive and responsive to their needs, and getting out there and really getting after things. And finally, thanks for your patience on this one. I will be out of the office a little bit later. I said Friday afternoon, but it's pretty much over. It's been a long week. But I'll definitely be out of the office next week. So Joe Irvin will be acting city manager through Tuesday, and then Chief Sherry Crane from the Sequim Police Department will be acting chief the rest of the week. Thank you for listening. Have a great one. Have a great weekend.